So on the count of three, one, how cheesy. All right. Hi, I'm Marcel with Guaranteed Rate.
I'm Holly Haven with Holly Haven Homes and Keller Williams.
Just wanted to give you another monthly market update as to what is currently happening in real estate and lending in Collin County. So Holly, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a lot of slowdown in the fourth quarter, which we kind of expected. We knew this was coming after the summer. Started to slow down, really taper off, even in July and August, which is a little bit early for us in the summertime. So we're seeing fewer homes on the market. We're seeing some price reductions happening. So we're seeing things just stabilize a little bit. We're not seeing price drops in our closing, which I think is really, really important for people to understand. Is what we're seeing is we were having such a big gap between our list prices and our sell prices because we were really selling at the top of the market. You know, we went so long with multiple offers and people paying over list price. So we're really back to market value, and we're still seeing market value prices. We're not seeing those really decrease.
Okay, no, that definitely makes sense. And I think, as obviously we're coming to a more balanced market now, with a balanced market, you do end up kind of having a seasonality to where literally, you do have your months to where you'll end up having typically higher volume months. And then you go into those months where typically you'll have lower volume months. And that is something, as you become more balanced in the market, that will certainly start to set in. When you also layer on top of that interest rates going up, interest rates now are in around the 5% mark. And so if you take kind of what's happening with obviously the seasonality that is going on right now, and then you factor in that interest rates are going up, it's really not surprising that people are kind of just taking a little breather as to see, okay, well, what's going on with the market? Is the market crashing? Are home prices dropping? What is really going on with the market? So I really don't expect that to continue for very long, because when you look at the underlying factors, when you look at the data that's out there, unemployment right now is at 3.7%. That is a very, very good number. It basically means that anyone that wants to work is out there working. And so in essence, it puts people into a position to where if they want to go get a job, those jobs are available. In addition to that, you also have wage growth, which is actually over 3% now for the first time in probably, around about 10 years or so. Yeah. And so people's wages are growing, unemployment rate is very low, and all of those type factors are going to end up spurring on a stronger and stronger economy. And when that happens, it does mean that interest rates are going to be likely rising next year.
Yeah, I think we can definitely expect to see that happen. I know you know that better than I do, even on the mortgage side. What we're looking at right now is kind of our normal, and I want to say normal market, back before our crazy last 3 to 5 years. We had a normal market, really. So a normal market means we have houses that are not really selling in the first 24 hours, right? We're not selling multiple offers, and we can't even, our buyers can't even grab anything before it's gone.
Yeah.
And our sellers are starting to panic and get a little nervous because we're seeing more of a 4 to 6 month sales cycle.
Sure.
Which is our normal market. That's our stable market. 4 to 6 months, really comfortable here in North Texas. So I think people can expect, to feel that a little bit, especially those sellers who heard about the market the last few years but didn't have the opportunity to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And it really did. It's almost like it reset expectations to where like people were under the assumption that, hey, if I list my house, it'll be sold in about 7 to 10 days, right? And that's the expectation, but that's not reality. I mean, even at a balanced market, typically that means it's going to take 5 to 6 months to sell your home, and that's considered a balanced market. So having the assumption that your home is going to end up selling in just days or weeks, that's not really realistic. That's not the way that a balanced market functions. A balanced market does function to where, it should take a few months in order to get your home sold.
Yeah, and I think, our sellers, not that we're not educating them, but they're coming off of this other expectation. So really letting them know that that is the expectation. There's nothing necessarily wrong with your pricing. If it's priced right, we're priced at market. Showings are going to slow down, right? Number of months on the market is going to go up. And I think as long as everybody's really educated and prepared for that, it's not as nerve-wracking. Doesn't make you as anxious if you know what to expect.
But, and that's why it is so important to work with a professional. Because if you go in and you're doing, let's say, a listing consultation with someone, you're going to explain to them exactly the type of market they're in. Even though they may be under the assumption and they've heard, that their neighbor down the street sold their home in 3 days. Well, that wasn't a week ago or 2 weeks ago. That may have been a year ago or a year and a half ago.
Right.
And it really is a different market right now. And as long as you know what to expect and how to set your expectations up front, that's really that's so important to making sure that things do go smoothly, because you can plan accordingly. You can put yourself into a position to where you're like, well, I need to sell my home in 16 days. Well, that's going to be tough unless you unless
we can price it right and make that happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, some of the other things to think about right now, because it is the end of the year, we also have homestead exemptions to think about. And you do have to actually have your home closed on by December 31st and moved into it so that you're living in the home on January 1st to be eligible for that homestead exemption.
Yes. And so if that doesn't happen and you move in and close, say, January 2nd, you go an entire year without that exemption, which, especially in some price houses, it's a pretty big deal.
Absolutely. The homestead exemption, it certainly can be extremely important. And, right now there's still plenty of time to close before the end of the year.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally, if people go through the process right now, they can actually go ahead and get a full approval up front, a full credit approval. Mm-hmm. And we actually have the ability to close people in just over 2 weeks if they'll go through that full approval process. And that means that underwriting has already reviewed their information. Now it's just a matter of going out and finding the right house, having an appraisal done on the house, and then closing. And so there's certainly plenty of time to do that before the end of the year.
Yeah, we get into lots of conversations with buyers and sellers, particularly sellers this time of year. People go, oh, I just don't want to sell during the holidays. Nobody's really looking during the holidays, and that's really a myth. The people who are looking to buy during the holidays are very serious buyers. They're not looky-loos, right? We don't have time during the holiday season to just go house hunt for fun. So you're really seeing a different type of buyer. You're seeing a real strong buyer show up
absolutely.
This
the buyers that are showing up right now, especially this time of year, oftentimes they want to move and not pull their kids out of school, out of the classroom, and then pull them out of a classroom and then put them right back in another classroom. They like to kind of do it during the intermission, basically between school years or semesters, and it ends up being easier on the kids because at that point, hey, listen, they're starting school, now it's going to be a new classroom, as opposed to, well, say bye to all your friends, even though they're all going to be here tomorrow. You're not.
That's right. You're leaving on Wednesday.
Absolutely. So you do see a lot of times families that will take advantage of moving over the holidays to make it easier on everyone out there.
Yeah, and first-time home buyers, you and I talked a little bit about this earlier today. First-time home buyers, this is a great time for first-time home buyers, or even not a first-time home buyer, maybe somebody who's leasing or renting or in an apartment. It still is a great time. In fact, it's a better time to buy than possibly even moving into first quarter of 2019. And if they look at all the costs, you might have to break a lease, especially in an apartment. Sometimes that cost can be offset by the great deals we're getting right now.
Yeah.
Especially new construction. We're getting
Without
some
a
really
doubt.
great prices on new construction.
They're wanting to get homes off the books by the end of the year. So if someone is considering buying a home, new construction right now is great. I mean, we're literally seeing some of the best deals that I've seen all year long on new construction because they want to get those homes off the books by the end of the year. So it really is a good time to kind of make that transition into being a homeowner because literally the interest rates, they're going to be higher next year.
Yeah.
Once people kind of come out of this seasonal lull, that means that next year in the spring, everyone is going to be out. So again, we're very likely going to be in a situation to where we have so many multiple offers on properties to where it's not going to be as advantageous for buyers as it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you never know what that next little part of the market's going to bring, but what's happening today.
Yeah.
And what we know today is it's a really great time for buyers, and it's not an uncomfortable time for sellers.
Absolutely.
So we're still in a really good market. So
definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not really. I mean, we have beautiful weather here in North Texas.
Exactly. It makes work hard.
I know, it does. We have blinds closed in here and we're a little sad.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'd love to get out and show some houses in this weather before it gets cold.
Absolutely. Well, in any case, I'm Marcel with Guaranteed Rate.
Yep, Holly Haven with Holly Haven Homes Keller Williams.
And if you need us for anything, please just give us a call.
Yeah.
Thanks.